Hello, and welcome to another installment of Inside St. Peter's, our little effort to inform those members who might be newer to our congregation or who might have forgotten all of the really good things that go on here in this congregation. And today, we have a visual aid.
Yes.
Does this look familiar? This is a handmade replica made by Steve Hurd of our labyrinth that exists in our courtyard columbarium. You've probably seen it. You might have eaten a hot dog out there. We use it for lots of things, but it has a specific purpose. And today I am happy to welcome Marilyn Larson, who's going to talk with us about the labyrinth in general and how it can be used and what its real purpose is and what it really means to this congregation. So Marilyn, welcome.
Thank you.
And if you would just talk a little bit about the history of the labyrinth, how you got interested in it.
Reverend Peggy Hayes, who was at St. Peter's, I became interested along with her about the year 2000. And so we've been involved off and on over the years. She was always talking about looking for a way to come to God. And she had various ways of doing that, our learnings in that way, and the labyrinth was one of those. And so we can take a look at our labyrinth here and look at the weddings that occurred on that labyrinth. We can take a look at the celebration of a mortgage burning that occurred with eats going on that. And that was a community activity using that labyrinth and using that liminal space for the joy of coming together. The labyrinth also has some other activities or needs for it. It is known as a resider of a sacred space. It is modeled after the Chartres Cathedral labyrinth in France. 13th century was that was collected and built. Taking a look at, let's look at the construction of the labyrinth. Okay, first of all, as you're looking in from the entryway, you can see that there is a flower in the center. That flower has 6 petals on it, and if you look at it in terms of the Old Testament, it looks and it justifies and puts forth the 6 days of creation on the petals, and then the very center of that is the place where we stand when we come to the center to celebrate our coming to the center of creation, which is exciting. The rosette, it is also called a rosette in the New Testament. It is in honor of the Mother Mary, Mother of God, and all the Notre Dame cathedrals in Europe have the Notre Dame look at that. So it coincides with at least 2 books or 2 sections of our Bible. Looking at the moons around the edge, and you're saying moons, those look like little teacups around the edge. Well, actually those are called moons or lunations, and in the 13th century, no one had a real way, the priest did not have a real way of discerning holidays, specifically Easter. And so when this maze was made at Chartres, it was established as a calendar so that the priests could count the days according to the divisions on the labyrinth that was there. Taking a look also at the pathways, and that looks like it's just a walk in the forest, but actually it's like a pathway into the wilderness. However, there is a direct way to the center of creation there. It is not a maze, there are no trip-ups, there are no red herrings in any way. You can get directly to the center of the labyrinth. Now there are corners to turn. There are switchbacks to turn in that way. So the pathway is not smooth, just like our lives are not totally smooth. But it does get you initially or eventually right to the very center of the creation of creation. In the wholeness of the labyrinth, as you look at the totality, it is like a threshold It is a threshold between two worlds, a liminal space. We come to the labyrinth from the everyday world. And then as we are walking the labyrinth, as it is a threshold for looking for the divine, that is the way in which we go. And that pretty much takes us right to the center perfectly. Very good. Okay, second, I'd like to talk about preparing to walk on the labyrinth. The walk of contemplation, meditation, and prayer there. It is really appropriate for you to have an intention. Why am I standing at the entryway to this labyrinth to walk it? It's like, think about it a little bit. Probably you've come to the entry to the labyrinth with something in mind. But you might say, your reason there, you might say, I dedicate this walk for or to whatever the situation it is, but you have a dedication in mind or a reason in mind. Some ideas for that dedication might be gratitude for something or someone, joy or thanksgiving that you are relating to the labyrinth as you seek a conversation with God, perhaps. It might be indeed in regards to a relationship that might be a little rocky or not, with a friend, a parent, a spouse, or a boss. It might be seeking clarity, a problem in a relationship, whatever. Also, I have used it in honor of someone who has passed away. I step to the front of the labyrinth and say, I dedicate my walk on this labyrinth to whoever. Okay. Also, thinking in terms of peace, personal peace, peace in community, peace in the world. And that pretty much is a little listing of reasons that you might have, but you make them specific to your intent to walk the labyrinth, and that's good. I have a couple of footnotes. One, walking the labyrinth is not a team sport. Coming to a wedding is. Coming to a mortgage burning is. But as we're talking about it today, we're talking about it as a very personal, focused, quiet time where you breathe and then enter. Also, there is no right or wrong way of walking this path. Also, moving on, you let the pathway take you to the center of creation. You go at the pace of your body, how your body wants to walk it, how your eyes see the switchbacks and turns and whatnot. There is no hurry to get to the center. There is no hurry to go out. You may receive some comfort as you are in the center, and then as you come out of it, you may have a sense of release and just relaxation at that point. And that stepping out of the labyrinth is like going forth into the world, just like Peggy often says at the end of a service, as we are in the liminal space of our sanctuary come the end of a service on Sundays. The courtyard is open from dawn to dusk, and those two times are very liminal times, and they're favorite times for people to walk the labyrinth as the day is moving on. Also, it is illuminated for a block of time after dark with the spotlights on it. You might come alone, you might come over with someone on your own, but please don't bring 20 people with you, because again, this is a sacred alone time with your reason and with your walk to the center of creation. And I thank you for the time to walk with you on the labyrinth today.
Thank you. Would you talk a little bit about maybe the future of St. Peter's Labyrinth? How does it fit into our future?
Well, I think we have a small group, myself and Patty Kohler and Steve Hurd, who we know made that, and we're working with Marilyn Ruskowski also. And we are looking at some of the seasons of the year. And on All Saints Day, on the eve of that, on the 6th of November, as we celebrated here at St. Peter's, we will have the candles lit on the memorials there, and are inviting folks who have memorials placed there to put a picture of the person who it is, if you would like to. And in a future video coming up, Patty Kohler will let you know of the other events that are going to happen at Epiphany during Lent and World Peace Day in May. And so we have a general look at it, but they're not parties completely. They are sacred times in the calendar, church calendar, and we like to give an opportunity for folks to join in a personal celebration or whatever our reasons are for walking the labyrinth. And you can walk it at any time.
Thank you.
Again, I think Patty will give some more specifics on that. And thank you for your question.
Sure. As you know, we close each interview with one of the 10 questions from James Lipton and Bernard Pivot's survey. And so, Marilyn, today I will ask you, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word comes right from the labyrinth, and it is peace. Personal peace, community peace, world peace. And if you would ask me what my favorite color is, I'd say orange. If you'd ask me what my favorite number is, it's 7. Okay, but peace is the word of the day. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And we invite you to stay tuned for more episodes of Inside St. Peter's.